We turn it on? Okay, this is the Dayton Conservation Commission, the public meeting agenda will be started. Would everyone rise, please, for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting is in video and audio recorded for cable broadcast and internet posting on www.dayton-mass.gov and YouTube. Okay. Our first hearing that we were going to have was an NRAD applicant from David Butler. That application has been withdrawn. Lisa, we have no certificate of compliances due, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so...
Have one that was just submitted yesterday for next month.
Okay. Okay, what we have then is to discuss some enforcement orders. We have no new hearings to be held. Okay, Lisa, would you deal with 2371 County Street, map 20, lot 65?
Yeah, so, the consultant, told us at our December 19th meeting that we'd have a revised plan the following Monday, the 23rd of December, but, we got it in an email yesterday, right, John?
Yep.
Okay, and John Souza is here as the engineer to inform us about his work at the site. We can share one here. Share it over here.
Sure.
Thank you.
And two for you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
So the client has actually started to clean up some of the material that was on the embankment, a lot of the rubbish. He actually started to cut in a portion of a small little temporary accessway to get down. He basically made the little hoop-de-doo going this way and stopped. Then he had a minor accident, and he ended up getting hurt at that point. So he stopped working, and he is actually out of the country right now. And also at the same time, his cancer came back. So he is, right now he asked us to find somebody that's competent to finish the project for him. So we're in the process of doing that right now.
And that is you that will find someone?
Yes, it's me that's gonna find somebody, because I don't trust anybody to go down there. They have to, I know a few guys that can go down there, and they have the machines that I am looking for to go down there, because I don't wanna see any big excavators. I want like one of those real small little minis, like a 5,000-pound machine.
Bingo type of machine.
Because that's what you need in order to crawl around down there. You can't use anything larger than that. So I know a few people
So
that have that.
something with a long arm is not what you would want?
The long arm is only for the top side, when you gotta reach down, but on the bottom, it has to be a very small machine. It
Okay.
can't be nothing
So
extravagant.
this dark area then, that's essentially going to be your roadway to go?
That's the temporary roadway, so we can get all the crap out of there.
Okay,
And then we already spoke to a few yards that have the infill and the riprap stone. We kind of placed the order at will call, so they have it. It's just a matter of us calling and say, hey, we need 8 trucks, bring it. But I'm not making that call until I find a competent person. Should be in about 2 to 3 weeks, so by the time the weather starts to break in early March, we can get going on this. 'Cause
And that's what you're using for the temporary road?
So the temporary road is made out of processed gravel, 3/4 to 1.5 inch stone.
And are you or his attorney authorized to engage the people that you're gonna hire to do this?
Oh, yeah, I was given full authority to.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that we didn't have to wait for him to
Yeah,
get back.
no,
or
no,
anything
no,
like that.
it's.
I think
'cause
that's a good thing, actually.
Yeah, it just makes it easier. It's like, let me handle it. I know what I need done. So, he's all on the board with that.
Okay,
Good.
that's, sounds very positive.
It's come a long way.
Yes, it's been a long time in the making, as you know. Okay,
Thank you.
Question, going down the notes,
Yep.
so there's some notes here that I'm checking, add note at the top of the construction sequence, that all work shall be overseen by North County Group. Is it here? I didn't see it. That was one of the ones that we-
I haven't gone through all the notes
All right.
to verify, so if
Do you
you
wanna
just
do
wanna.
that together, or do you want,
Yeah,
like, do you
yeah.
want, next week, can we just do that together?
I'm actually out of the office until Tuesday,
Okay,
but I will be back on Wednesday, Thursday.
so
and
Wednesday
Friday.
or Thursday, we could go over it.
Yeah.
Do you have a time that's
Yeah,
better?
you wanna do, Thursday, like around 10 o'clock?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you wanna do that just on the phone with the plans? Fine.
That, yeah, I'm
Not to
all right
waste
with
a
that.
trip.
Yeah.
Okay, Thursday at 10, so that's, the 23rd,
Third.
right?
now, are you here for Hart Street too?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll be there in a minute.
Yeah, 'cause I wanna go through this thoroughly, and me and John might as well just go through the
Yeah,
notes.
it'll end up being easier.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're set with County Street. Okay, let's go to 2470 Pleasant Street. Lisa?
I did send off the letter certified to, as discussed at the last meeting. I didn't receive a response from Mr. Bott. So I was really just wondering what you guys wanted the next.
This is the property that abuts County Street
Yeah,
on the east side, okay.
2470, we asked for a response, this is the letter.
Geez, and when we were out there, he seemed to be very responsive and willing to work with what we were asking, right?
Yeah, so, actually, we didn't give them a date that they need to reply to it. Letter dated December 30th, Mr. Eric and Rachel, we are writing to follow up on, well, I guess I should have said Mr. and Mrs. Watt. We are writing to follow up on violations on your property at 2470 Pleasant Street, map 20, lot 55, under the Wetlands Protection Act and the Dayton Wetlands Bylaw. At our last meeting, the Conservation Commission discussed the matter, and they do not wish to take further action steps unless necessary. We await a mitigation plan. We also attach the meeting schedule so that you can plan accordingly. You can email a response to me, failure to comply. This order may constitute grounds for additional legal action. I put the blog in there about the violations, and thank you in advance for your cooperation. I look forward to working with you to resolve this issue.
And he hasn't replied. Okay.
No. So, I mean, you want me to just give it another,
Yeah, let's,
a little more
see,
time?
let's see if,
Because he was pricing, and he was,
I thought he was really on board to get it corrected. It wasn't that there was a tremendous amount to do.
no. And we would even, I think we were gonna give and take on that, whether we were going
Yeah,
to.
if you send them an email, the commission awaits your input before any further action is taken.
or it may be put in there, in that letter, that members of the commission were very pleased with your input at our personal visit this summer, and we await your input.
I like that.
Second.
So I'll put that in an email.
Okay, yeah, because, you know, I mean, we were really very pleased with his intent.
Yeah.
And so
I
we just want
agree.
him to follow up with that same attitude.
Definitely.
Okay, 710 Center Street.
I have not heard back from him, and I don't have any way of contacting him. I gotta just maybe go knock on the door. Yeah.
Okay,
Dave, what, maybe Tuesday?
Yeah, we can do that.
I mean, 'cause he didn't have much to do. He had,
No, not at
Literally.
all. And we had a great rapport, we had a
yeah,
great rapport with him too.
maybe he's just been busy with the holidays and stuff. Who knows what's going on, right? Give him the benefit of the doubt.
okay.
We'll try that on Tuesday. Monday's a holiday.
Okay,
880 Hart.
okay, you set, Lisa?
Yep.
Okay, let's go at 880 Hart Street. And here we have John again.
Yes. So my client wants to thank you for the help with the cow. So, we basically had an on-site meeting. I flagged out where the new flag locations were per the plan that I had previously brought to the commission. We actually flagged it that morning, so that way we knew that none of the flags would go missing. It's happened in the past. It happens. So, we went out there, we walked it. I believe everybody was pretty much in agreement with everything that I had on the plans. One thing that we ended up noting was that there was a roof drain that came out near one of the flags that I'm gonna talk to him, and we're gonna come up with a small little underground leach area so it can goes into that, and then we'll have an overflow on the backside of that. And we can incorporate that into the IDA with the cow pen as well. We were talking about the cow pen, and alas, with the cow that actually ended up getting trapped between the feed trough and the gate. And it was kind of, the trough was frozen into the ground. We tried to move it, no use.
No way.
So I found that the hinges, there was not a top side on the hinge, so we pulled off the gate and then.
You did all of that, you did really everything.
And the cow freed itself, so that was really a good thing. We just about wrapped up with the IDA. That's going to get submitted this week coming up for that, but we're going to include that. But we're talking about, actually, I know that tomorrow's going to warm up and Saturday is going to be the warmest. That maybe that they can actually put the cow pen and move it along through the front to open it up and rearrange the feed, get that taken care of now while we're working on the IDA, and then in the springtime, remove the posts along the backside because those are cemented in, so they're not gonna yank
But
them out.
even if it warms up, it's only gonna be mid-40s at most, and
Yeah.
that ground's not gonna thaw
I
out.
think it's gonna thaw out
Yeah, I mean,
in a short period of time.
you might be able to break through with an auger, to go through it.
Or you'd need a power auger to.
Yeah, like a power auger anyway to go through it. I believe you should be able to do it with a power auger, because I know that on another building that we're working on in Taunton, we hit a little bit of frost about 8 inches down, and it was about 4 to 6 inches right now. but it was just underneath the surface, so power auger might be able to core out the holes.
So would you move the sheds too, do you think now? You think they can move them now?
I believe if it's warm enough, because there's no foundation on it, you can actually pick it up with a lawnmower or whatever and just lift it up off of the
It
ground
might
and
be
move
the
it.
better time to do that anyway,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right? Because the ground is frozen,
Yeah,
so
so
then it's
it's
not
a-
gonna make a big mess.
Exactly, yes.
So yeah, if they can do it, I'm fine with them doing it ahead of time to help the cows so that they don't end up splayed
Yeah,
and,
Good word.
well, it's not a good thing for a cow, but,
No.
Wow.
yeah.
so,
Okay, anything from anybody?
So when you file the RDA though, can you explain the roof runoff a little bit? Will you have like,
yeah, so we'll have like an underground, like a recharger that will go into, and then on the back side, we'll just put like a smaller pipe up high as an overflow, so,
with some riprap or something?
yeah.
Yeah, instead of just discharging. right?
Yeah, it needs a riprap apron.
And that whole area, needs seed and everything.
Yeah, so, again, when, like in March, clean that area up as well.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, John, for you and your client, we have approved through town vote, a change in our bylaws, which will include fees. This is now being reviewed by the state, so when we get them back, there will be fees. So that you know, so that the sooner you get that in,
The better.
the better.
Yep, I just checked the status of the bylaw changes that were voted on at the annual in mid-June. The Municipal Law Bureau issued.
You mean, annual, you mean fall meeting?
No, at the annual meet, there were some bylaw changes that were introduced, not to the conservation bylaw, just in general town bylaws. The Municipal Law Bureau ended up issuing their written determinations in mid-October, so it seems like they're running roughly like 3 to 4 months.
Okay, so this was September, so
Okay.
they're gonna be coming through,
Any moment now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just, I just wanna be fair with you.
Oh, no, I appreciate that very much, because, I know the economic times we're all in right now, so if you can save a nickel, absolutely.
Yeah, that feed I'm sure is expensive too, right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, so,
but what about the posts and the placards? Can you make sure that's on the plan?
yeah, so, we'll add them onto the plans, and we can actually hang those anytime.
Okay,
Yeah, it's not an issue.
if you wanted to make the meeting Thursday in person, then I can give you placards if we know how many you need.
Yeah, I'll do a count as to
Okay.
what we need, and,
Great.
yeah, and then I'll grab those as well.
All right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Okay, John, any other questions or comments?
Not for me.
Okay, and the audience has none.
Okay, wait a minute, I thought I saw a hand.
Okay, thank you, John.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank
Thank you,
you.
Mr. D'Souza.
Anything,
be reachable this week, I tell you.
All right.
Okay, 1070 Smith Street, that violation.
yeah, you too, thank you.
Thank you.
I copied the engineer on that, and they're getting ready to submit for the February meeting, which is great. That's Zenith Engineers.
Okay, now, will they be filing in like an RDA or something?
I'm not sure, it depends. I think it might have to be a notice of intent, because I think they're gonna do a lot of grading. They're gonna pull
Okay.
stumps up in the backyard and stuff.
Okay.
But I'm not sure, he didn't tell me.
Okay, when the appropriate time comes, all these people that have been dealing with us, we should probably notify them that there is a bylaw change that they should check into because of the fee structure.
Okay.
So,
Well-
when it comes,
Well, I mean, with the agenda next month, I could just send a copy of it to everyone.
Yeah, well, because you have a lot of them, and it would just be the same thing. There has been
Yeah.
a bylaw change, and you should be aware of it, especially the fee structure that
Yeah.
could delay them.
Right.
Okay, other business, meeting minutes. Okay, right now, okay, I may be going out of order, but I'll try to get two or three things in together. The meeting minutes, we are backlogged due to the lack of a clerk position. However, that clerk position has now been filled by us, and the individual, Kendra Early, from Marion Avenue, will be taking the position. And what she has to do now is just go to the selectman's office and fill out a form saying that she was hired by the commission to do the minutes. And so and then I think
I think
Lisa.
they have to appoint, don't they have to appoint her?
Yes,
That's why you wrote the letter?
yes, so the selectmen will appoint her at their next meeting, and then after that, the town clerk will probably just ceremonially swear her in as
Okay.
clerk, and
Okay,
then she'll officially be serving.
Okay, we authorized Lisa at the last meeting to do the hiring. How about we make a motion to approve Kendra Early as our, in the clerk position to take the minutes?
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we have officially accepted her in the clerk position.
Okay.
And so if, okay, what is that one?
This is just your letter.
Oh, that was the one that I signed to go up. Okay,
So you want to just reference it? or-
okay. The letter went out to the selectmen, and it says, "We have completed interviews for the minute taker clerk position and are ready to recommend the town hire Kendra Maderas Early for the position. We believe that Kendra will complement the commission well in this position. Kendra already is employed by the town and works for the Council on Aging in a part-time, non-union position." And so we are all on the up and up with the selectmen and with hiring Kendra. Okay. Do we have bills that we need to,
Well, these were paid, they were signed and paid, but now you guys just want to look, these are the ones.
okay,
The last, actually, you only have, I think it's only these ones.
It's just that one with the corrected account numbers from Serena, right?
Yeah, just, payroll,
Do you want it?
this is payroll.
There's no action required on that one. That one's already signed. That's just, I guess, informational for the most part.
A couple hours of vacation time over the past few years.
Graft in there for us?
Right, yep, sorry.
Oh, man.
okay. And, okay, so you took care of all these, Paul?
Yeah, they were. all
Okay,
good,
very
but
good.
you guys wanted just to look at them. That's fine too.
Okay,
Motion to accept the payroll and vendor bills, expenses incurred since the last meeting?
I'm waiting for a
So
second.
moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, now we have the budget to deal with.
Mr. Chairman, I prepared a document. Would it be okay if I distributed it?
Yes.
Just one for you and Dave. That's one for you. And Lisa, do you want a copy?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Do you mind if I walk through the document?
Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. So the Board of Selectmen have issued a townwide directive to all departments to cut their budgets by a minimum of 2.5%. So what I did was we looked through I apologize, I don't have multiple printouts of this one, but this is the last 3 years of our departmental expenses. It just details our FY '23 actual expenditures, our FY '24 expenditures, and our FY '25 budget. So what we did was, I'm gonna get to I'm gonna elaborate a little more on why the conservation agent, salary is still level funded from this year. I have a little more info on that a little later on, but basically, the Board of Selectmen at a recent meeting determined that at this point in time, non-contracted appointed officials who do not have a contract that determines their raise are currently scheduled to not receive one. So while it's my hope that they reconsider, and I'm going to later on, as the next item, I'm going to suggest that we propose a motion to draft a letter to the Board of Selectmen requesting that they please reconsider this position and grant the conservation agent a much-deserved raise in line with what the other officials who do have contracts are receiving. But I'll save that just for the end and just go through the departmental
all right,
budget, if that's okay.
Paul, what went through my mind was if we have a line item that we have a surplus in, that we take that surplus and give it to the agent, or use it towards an agent increase so that we don't go over the amount, but that would indicate that we would be conservative in the use of other monies, but at the same time rewarding a very worthy employee.
I agree. We don't have the discretion to transfer money from the departmental expense line into the departmental personnel line, so that would require the authorization of the town accountant. If it's,
Well, that's where.
if it's
that's where-
possible, I would love to.
Yeah.
And actually, that's something that I was gonna touch on in just a minute, if that's
okay.
okay.
All right, so we're thinking the same. Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead, I'll let you continue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. So this next part is very much a request. You'll notice that line 5115, clerical worker, that was the same line item that was allocated for our former office assistant.
Yeah,
And in fiscal '25, we had a budget of $9,220.61. Now, why this is becoming a request is because at the meeting where the Board of Selectmen authorized us to hire a minute taker, they stated that they only wanted to fund that position with departmental budget through the end of this fiscal year. Thereafter, Selectman Pacheco stated that he would support the Conservation Commission with establishing a revolving fund at the next annual town meeting, which would allow us to divert the fee income that we will be receiving into that fund where we could pay for incidental department expenses such as a stipend for a minute taker. The reason I'm requesting that they fund it instead is for two reasons. Is that one, we can't be certain, we know that we need it, and we can't be certain that town meeting will establish a revolving fund for us, so we don't want to gamble on the will of town meeting.
yeah,
Moreover, we would not be able to establish the revolving fund until it had received approval from the Attorney General's office, which, as we just said, is taking
Months.
about 4 months. Right, so we don't want to be backlogged 4 months. So what I would propose is that we request the Board of Selectmen fund that with $2,250, which is our kind of estimated budget for what I believe we would expect for that that would be $1,800 would be enough to pay $150 per meeting for all 12 meetings, while preserving that $450 in the event that we needed to have a couple of special meetings throughout the year. And if we were to get a revolving fund, and that revolving fund were to be established and has a sufficient balance that we could pay the minute taker, the Board of Selectmen could always just zero this out mid-fiscal year and then just cancel out that line and allow us to fund it with the revolving fund. So this is one of those things I'd like us to ask for it, for two reasons being that it's better to have it and not need it in the event that we get the revolving fund, and then we have it if we don't get the revolving fund, we can still ensure that we have continuity of minute taking. So that, I kept the same line. Also, since that line was funded with $9,220 for fiscal '25, dropping down to only $2,250 still represents a massive cut. You know, we're still showing that we're playing ball,
Yeah.
and that we've scooped almost $7,000 out of our budget right there. The next item is, I was strongly advised to leave these next two items the same as last year by the town accountant. The educational stipend of $800 is fairly uniform for all full-time employees with bachelor's degrees who receive that stipend. So we were advised to keep that the same so that it's same town-wide. We were also advised that we would want to keep the boot allowance at $300. I was told that we do have the ability to purchase some field supplies, such as like bug spray and things like that, things that are not like office supplies or other supplies, but things that are kind of in the miscellaneous category, I guess you'd say. We do have the ability to buy those out of professional and technical. So we will find the ability to procure some field apparel for Lisa, whether she needs sunscreen, bug spray, things like that. And then things that aren't really uniform, we can make an argument if we need to for things like chaps and stuff like that if we need to. The town accountant wasn't amenable to that because they felt like that was more for a uniform. But that's something that we do at least have some flexibility, and we can try to make a compelling argument on a case-by-case basis based on, what she needs.
Sun hat or something.
Right, so we can,
I think Dave should have one too.
Okay, Lisa, you and I talked about the funds we have still on account for this year.
Yeah.
And
I gotta use them.
certainly to purchase what you need. Even now, I know it's not bug spray season now, but
Yeah,
if
we
we
can
have
buy it.
funding to get what you need, because, and I do have some kind of repellent that I'm willing to give you some for clothes washing, and it's supposedly
yeah,
good
no.
for 10 washes.
Yeah.
And it's a
Corinthian?
repellent for ticks and
oh, yeah.
of all sorts.
Yeah.
But
You don't
I
wash-
have that, and I haven't been going into the woods as much as I used to.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, now, you said it was 5115 was a $7,000 reduction, and they wanted a 2.5% reduction. The agent's salary is a 2.5% reduction. If it were to take place, would it only be under $3,000?
Exactly.
If, so we're actually going under closer to $4,000, more than what we have to.
Exactly. So, to me, coming in aggressive, that to me gives us more credibility, I think, when we ask the selectmen to reconsider their position on a salary increase for her.
Yeah,
Because if we were to cut, say, just the 2.5% and then ask to give Lisa a 2.5% raise, that could very quickly become practically a wash versus our last year budget. Whereas if we do come in fairly aggressive, then to me, that kind of gives us more standing and a little more capital.
okay, so our total
But
budget
Jim,
last
he
year.
didn't, I don't think he finished the other two line items, did you?
No, as three more.
3. yeah.
Okay, go ahead, and I'm going to give my thoughts afterwards. Go ahead.
For professional and technical, I proposed a $250 reduction, which represents a 10% decrease based on FY25. That was because I averaged out our 3-year spend over a 3-year period. We're only averaging spending about $980 out of that line item. So to me, that seems like $250 is a significant amount, as a percentage of our total budget. But to me, it's not nearly enough to hurt us. We're not approaching even half that with our average 3-year spending. So that was something I could see us cutting without feeling any loss. Dues and subscriptions was previously a $1,000 budget, and we have a much lower average spend. Right now, we're really only averaging like $500 to $600 per year out of that line. So if we were to keep that, we could reduce that from $1,000 down to $800, and based on our previous spend, that's not going to impact our operations at all. And then the last one was other supplies, which I just left it level funded because we've never actually exceeded the other supplies, but we are utilizing that we utilize with regularity. There was actually 1 year where we hit our full budget, which was FY24, and then we had $559 in fiscal 23 and $230 so far in fiscal 25. So if we were to keep that at 600, based on our previous spend, we're not likely to hit that. That would bring our total departmental budget to $62,071 compared to $69,491.61 this year.
I'm sorry, what was that last number?
Oh, yeah, it's actually written on the bottom.
Oh,
Yeah, 62,071.
okay, that's that's what we're asking.
Yep.
And last year it was, what?
It was 69,491.61 is this year.
No, wait a minute. This year's budget that's now active is
Yes,
how much?
69,491.
Oh, 59, okay.
69.
69.
Yep, 69. So this budget is proposed represents a cut of $7,420.61.
Which is much more, that's more like
It's
a
a
10% cut.
yeah, it's a 10.67% cut, which, to me, that gives us a lot of credibility when we go to the selectmen and ask them to reconsider raises.
So
Okay,
wait,
so,
can you repeat the 69,000 what?
Yeah, our present budget for fiscal '25 is $69,491.61.
Okay.
So this budget is proposed represents a cut of $7,420.61.
Wow.
Yeah, so that, we come in far more,
Do you work on household
what's that?
reductions? Get rid of the college kids, right?
Yep, there we go.
All right.
So to me, this gives us more of a platform to ask them to allow a little bit of these cuts to flow back into our departmental personnel budget in the form of giving the agent a fair raise, which she more than deserves.
okay, all right, so,
Tell them when you're going
Let
over
us-
this, tell them we're all donating our salary to the budget.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we're the only ones that don't get paid in the whole town.
Well, almost time's up for the rest of them too, because I think they're losing theirs anyway. They're losing their stipend.
Very possible.
So
What
when-
I'm saying is.
we
go before the finance.
We're doing our part, so you can put that in
Thank
there.
you, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. you know?
Absolutely.
okay, now, we have to go before the finance committee with this, correct?
Yes.
So is that the time that we ask for, let's say 56 or 57,000 for the agent?
What I'd recommend, if you were amenable, is I'd like to propose a motion to send a letter on behalf of the commission, just detailing, the quality of Lisa's work and her service and dedication to this commission and her profession, and asking them to please reconsider their level funding her salary,
Yeah.
and to please reconsider and grant her the same 2.5% raise that they're giving everybody else.
Without a doubt, yes. Okay,
Thanks, guys.
do you wish to make that motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, okay, now this letter's gonna go to whom? Finance or selectmen?
What about the Board of Selectmen and the Finance Committee? Give me carbon copies to both? Or
Okay,
addressed jointly to both of them?
okay, what we're going to do then is to submit this paper here as well as last year's paper and indicate that it's a 10% reduction, but we would like the agent to receive a 2.5%.
So the 2.5% is what? It comes out to be about 50, let me see, 55,
Okay,
If they were to accept that, it would set your salary at $56,447.78.
okay, 447.78, yep.
would you run that by, 56?
Yep, 447.8, 447.78, sorry.
Okay,
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, are you, or the rest of the commission, are we otherwise amenable to this budget? Any revisions?
No, it looks good, because Lisa and I had worked on it. I know it has variations from what we had, and I had assumed that Lisa was going to automatically get a 2.5%, but you informed us differently, and you know, we got the money where we need it. And if something happens, hopefully we get the rollback.
Right.
Well, no, I don't think we need the rollback, because we're gonna have our fees, the wetland filing fees. I don't
So,
want, yeah.
I mean, that should assist us.
Absolutely. Would you like a motion, Mr. Chairman, on the budget?
Yes, I would.
All right, I'd like to propose a motion to accept the departmental budget and submit it to the Board of Selectmen as presented in the document today.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Lisa, as far as drawing up a letter,
Yep,
I will work on one. I'd like you to do it as well, and then
Okay.
we'll merge them.
okay. Sounds good.
Let's see, let's go back to the... Okay, we know we have no public input. Is there anything else any member would like to address?
I do see there's some correspondence on the agenda, Mr. Chairman. Looks like it's double printed, double-sided printed on the back.
Okay. Thank you.
pleasure.
I didn't turn it over. Okay, correspondence?
Yeah, so you guys must be aware that we were in a severe drought, right? So they've just brought it down they do it for the month prior. So December was brought down to a mild drought, so down to a level 1 from a level 3. But
Okay, is level 3 the highest level of drought?
No, I don't think
No,
so.
I
It goes higher.
think, yeah, it goes higher than that, so,
Okay, so level 1 is not bad.
yeah, right.
It's not good, but it's, okay.
Pretty dry still, but,
Still dry.
I did get some information from a member of another commission that, apparently the precipitation we're supposed to be starting to see more and more precipitation over the next couple months. And so overall, I guess weather forecasters and NOAA, they don't expect that our water level, precipitation is gonna be down from normal. Average, I guess, is somewhere around 40 inches.
42.
Good. 42 inches, so we should see about the same amount this year. Well, you know, I don't know what it was for 24, do you?
Okay, you know, while we're talking rainfall and all, there is a website called Raindrop. Now, I think there's might be more than one, one without charge and maybe others with charge. But whenever it rains, if you had any rain, you would go to that website and you would get a map of the United States. And then you just keep on expanding it to our area. I can bring it right down to my house. I can get my house on the site. I tap my house, and it tells me how much rain I received in the last 24 hours at my house. And I did this for one of the farmers in town who has various fields. And I said, hey, you don't have to run around and check how much rain you got. Just go to your website and click on it, and you know if you need irrigation.
Yeah.
Just by clicking on that website. And I have a rain gauge, and believe me, it's accurate, that
Check it.
raindrop.
Oh, nice.
It shows a big blue raindrop on the app.
Yeah, there's another site that you can link to that I always used previously for the private consulting, because we had to document how much rain since the last site inspection for erosion controls. We were doing inspections for RIDOT, erosion control inspections, and you had to know. So we had to list exactly how much, and we had to go on that site but it was a NOAA-approved site. I'm sure there's a bunch of them.
Now, where I go, it says last 24 hours. I don't know
You can
if
get
there's
history.
another area where I would click for, a 48
I bet
or
you-
more days. It probably is.
Yeah.
But I just do after the rain has ended, I
Yeah.
click it and
Very
then I
convenient.
compare it with my rain gauge,
Yeah, nice.
so.
So, yeah, so I guess that could segue into the next thing. It wasn't on the agenda, but I just wanted to give you guys an update, because I gave the Stormwater Committee an update on these. Stormwater pollution prevention, SWIP reports that we're getting, the inspection reports for the general permits for a couple of the sites in town, including, Mr. Eamon's site on Elm Street is being monitored by MBL Land Development. They do weekly inspections, and I'll pass these around so you can see they had some erosion issues on the north side, and it's been corrected, but I asked them to add, basically, they had to add some more erosion, which was like a blanket on the slope, and then they had to repair. But I did notice, I don't know if you guys have driven by there at all, there seems to be, they might need a culvert under the driveway, because it has some real ice and sheet flow running across, so hopefully they're gonna, when they finish, before they finish everything, they fix that. I'm gonna have a conversation.
Tough, because that driveway's so sloped. It's
Yeah.
like, you're heading down that hill.
I know, they do have a culvert at the street, along the street right of way, but they need another one, I think, but we'll see. And then I have the other one, the SWIP report for Hunter's Hill, which that's gone from the contractor's hands now, because the contractor already paid and installed the catch basins, installed you should see the drainage basins, if you get a chance to take a drive down there, they call them Miranda Pond, but,
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really cool.
yeah, so they do weekly reports, and Lee Castagnetti, like I said, he's now doing them instead of the contractor, so on the I've had to guide this new kid a little bit, because, he was sending me photos, like these ones I know exactly where they're taken, right, they're taken of the basin, but, I'm like, can you just put a little descriptor so I know where exactly I'm looking, because it's just a silt fence and some brush, but, so he did, he started doing that. If you guys want to take a look at it anyway, it's all right here. The email has the captions. All right, thank you. But see, that's what's expected for the large sites disturbing greater than an acre. You have to do the SWIP report.
I have the pleasure of being on Stormwater, so I saw this yesterday.
Okay. Lisa, on this letter that's going to go to the finance and selectmen,
Yeah.
what we're going to need is this here,
Typed.
probably typed, and the other one, last year's, done as well, and probably, several copies.
We have
For us
lists.
and for the receivers.
Okay.
That just shows that silts aren't not gonna get down there, but.
See, it's ironic that silt sock is lower than the wetland. They definitely
Okay.
cut in there, anyway.
Okay, Lisa, you gave me, and I think others, a copy of Spring Street property there, DI Trust possibility of being sold.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad.
Could you talk about that, because I found what we had discussed as being very interesting in what they're proposing.
I have more. Yeah, so,
I got one, Lisa. I brought it with me, you left me one.
Oh, okay, good. The PACT meeting, the planning board was contacted about, Spring Street and a developer who was showing interest in Spring Street and redeveloping it, which, so, automatically, they were invited to the PACT meeting to discuss, permitting. I took some notes of the meeting. Basically, the architect is the same architect who worked on Cottage Park. His name is Dan Orwig, and, so he provided us with a little analysis of redevelopment there. The redevelopment would require rezoning, cause right now it's only zoned as industry. But, their plan is to look at mixed use, maybe 300 residences, 55 plus, or assisted living, manufacturing, retail, park setting,
What was that last one?
park setting,
Mark setting, okay.
office space, and I reminded them that they have a lot of parking lot there, and they'd have to make stormwater upgrades, and they said they were well aware of that. But they're looking for a mixed-use site, and this site obviously has they have brownfields, at least 5 hazards there.
Do they have any kind of a timetable that they want to get things done?
Well, the first thing is that they have to present to the town to convince the town to rezone it.
I don't think that would be a problem.
That's a 2/3 majority, I think, at town meeting.
2/3, yeah.
I don't think that would be a problem. Over 55, retail, industry, park, and,
It sounds like a win-win. They also talked about using some sustainable energy, and,
what kind of energy?
maybe geothermal. They were talking about being able to heat the whole place with their own power, or provide power back to the grid. So I was impressed, and, I don't know what the time frame is, but these are reputable developers that have done it in other places. So, just wanted to bring it to your attention. Thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah, that really interests me, using that site, because right now, there's just a huge area which is just cement, where they took down the previous building, and if they can put up residential for seniors, senior living, and have a park in there to maybe to access the river, not only for the residents, but also for townspeople, that would be very nice. I know I had been a few times looking for an opening to the river for kayakers and canoers, so, recreation, whether it be just going out or fishing or whatever,
Right.
would be very nice. It'd be a beautiful park there.
Oh, definitely, yeah. So, the other thing was, that they definitely need to convince the town, though. So that was what they were concerned about mostly.
See, I really don't see that as a major problem. Because right now, it's nothing. It's gonna get back to use.
Right,
100%.
We had someone come in as a grow industry, and nothing's happened with that.
no, the permit's gonna expire the end of the year, so,
And this here would be very non-controversial.
maybe, possibly, I don't know.
Well, why would people complain? Over 55,
But they don't always hear that, Jim, we gotta convince them of it. You know what I mean?
It
Yeah.
means more traffic, more noise in
Not
some
really.
instances.
Not
Well,
really,
hey.
you've got access, they're not gonna be using the town,
They're gonna be going to Taunton.
gonna be going to town.
I agree.
you know? It's, yeah, a few people might go down to 138, but most of them will go to 44, so.
And anything commercial, is gonna be open to everybody,
Yeah,
which would be very nice. And, over 55, how busy is that gonna be? I mean, most, are gonna be retirees, not all, but many.
right, right. Market value is the, you know, not affordable. I mean, you know, maybe they're affordable, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, is there anything else to discuss? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
No, I gotta have a second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.